Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrik is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
How was your vacation?
It was fine, I guess. I basically just worried about going to work the whole time, though. So
that sounds about right. I mean, you work in grocery stores,
mm-hmm.
and they're kind of the hot spot right now.
Yeah,
for basically everything, because that's like where people can go and where they need to go. So you took 7 days off or 8 days off?
Basically just a week. Yeah. Whatever that came out to be.
And you watched some anime.
In theory, yeah.
In theory? You watched some literally with me.
I guess.
How is that I guess? You literally were watching it with me.
Okay, I guess we watched some anime.
How is it I guess? I still don't understand that.
I don't know.
I mean, we literally watched some anime together via the internet.
Yes.
So
there.
I just don't understand the denial. But we watched. Well, you put together this thing, this daily watch party to watch Gurren Lagann,
mm-hmm.
Which is a anime that people like. Because I've been surprised how many people I mentioned I was watching Gurren Lagann with you and some friends, and they were like, "Whoa, I love Gurren Lagann."
I mean, it's a big deal. It was a big deal. And I think I said this to you already, but it's considered a modern classic pretty much. So
I could see why. Because when did it come out? 2007?
Yeah, I believe it was 2007. It was definitely 2007, 2008. I can't remember right now.
So it's had
research.
Well, it's had like 11, 12 years to permeate into the culture.
Yes. Yes.
Plenty of time to be there when people get into anime, mm-hmm. for it to just sit there and be like, hey, I'm also an anime you might want to watch. And then you watch it, and its reputation has grown and grown. I mean, I was impressed by like the sheer amount of like merchandise still available from Gurren Lagann.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not, there's not as much as current anime, but there's still stuff.
So, I mean, but that's just a testament to how popular it still is.
Yeah,
but it's a really good show.
I'm glad that you liked it.
So no, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I had the weirdest thing, you gave me an appointment every day when I hadn't had appointments. And I swear I almost every day, because we watch it nearly every day at 9:00.
Yeah.
And I swear almost every day I would either be like, oh crap, and because it would be like 8:30, mm-hmm. Be like, oh crap, and I'd run to get my computer set up to watch it, or it would be like 7 or whatever. I'd be like, what time are we watching it? Like I could never remember, even though it was like the only appointment I have in the world.
Yeah,
it's like my brain just gave up on any hope of that working.
Oh.
So we watched Gurren Lagann from start to finish. Really good show. Did not go in any of the directions I was expecting.
What did you expect to happen?
Well, no, what I mean is like the time jump
mm-hmm.
and stuff. I just wasn't expecting stuff like that. I just kind of thought it was going to be about these kids and they were going to be using giant robots and fighting. And I mean, I'm not saying that I like sat there meticulously thinking like, well, here's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know how this is going to end. I didn't really think that. It's just that it kind of went in a direction. I was like, oh, I didn't really see that one coming. I didn't see that coming along.
Okay.
But it was a very satisfying show. The ending was extremely satisfying.
Good.
So no, I would highly recommend if people like Japanimation that they check out Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, I mean the problem with TTGL is that like there are some really bad episodes in the beginning. They're so bad that it turns a lot of people off from the show. Which was it
like the fourth episode or the third episode?
It was the fourth episode.
That was, I thought some of the other episodes that were considered not that good were fine, but that one was bad. Like it was a sincerely difficult episode to finish.
Yeah. I mean the other two episodes that I'm not super into, like the episode with the like hot springs bathhouse, and then the episode, the beach episode.
Yeah.
Like there are people who genuinely like those episodes. Nobody likes episode 4. Nobody likes it.
Those episodes I could appreciate as kind of fun in games, but that fourth episode was legit. I was legitimately just like, what is?
Yeah.
Why?
Why was it there? I mean, at all? Like it doesn't make sense. And like literally, like it's hard to follow. Like it's not good. So like the only way you can really watch, like get people a lot of times to watch the show is to watch it with them, because otherwise they'll just stop. They'll just go like, that's fine. I don't want to watch anymore. I don't know what happened in that last episode. I don't know why they were looking at clouds for 20 seconds during the dialogue, or like you couldn't see anybody's mouths because the camera angles were so weird. Everybody drew it. They drew it. There's no like there's no real excuse. And yeah, I mean I get lazy animation and stuff, but it wasn't lazy, it was confusing animation. Like I don't know why. And then like people like baby almost died, but I don't even remember that happening. Like it was so weird.
Yeah, and you said it was because they had a guest director.
Yeah.
Which, is it normal to have a guest director on a show that's not even proven yet?
Oh, totally.
It's so weird.
It's normal to have, like, I mean, it's not like the full director. I mean, that there's one director, but then there are animation directors for different episodes. So like Mob Psycho 100 has a few directors, especially in the second season. Of course, those guest directors people were like excited about, and the episodes were really, really good. I don't know why they picked this dude in particular, but he has just a career of like making weird stuff. And, when he recently sort of last year directed an episode of Dororo, or why do I keep saying it like that? Dororo. Like people were like, oh, it was bad, but it was experimental. It's like, no, it's a show with a linear plot progression. Like you can't just make it super weird and say that's okay. I didn't understand what was going on in the episode, so yeah.
I like how upset you got. That was great.
And everybody was just like, why was this so bad? Like, nobody wants to hear that about the show that they're working on. That everybody was just like, that was terrible. So, yeah.
It's okay. Just breathe. Just breathe.
No.
You're refusing to breathe?
I don't want to. No, it's okay. I'm fine.
Why are you so difficult? So, did you get anything out of your? So, I mean, for those who haven't listened in the past, you're essential. Must be nice. So,
totally.
So, but you're an essential worker, and you've been working pretty much. Aside from that time off you took, you've been working the entire time that we've been dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Did you get any enjoyment out of your time off at all?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't have to go to work, so that was good. And one day I went and I found a place that I didn't know existed in my town with a really old log cabin. And I found
you sent me pictures of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a house next door, was it?
Yeah, that I'm gonna just have one day. But I mean that was fine, and I liked doing the the Gurren Lagann thing. Even though I cried a whole lot and couldn't sleep afterwards. But
you couldn't sleep?
That last night. Well, I eventually fell asleep, but first I just cried a lot. So
I mean, should we worry about spoilers when something's over 10 years old?
I mean, maybe, but we could say, hey, if you haven't seen Tengen, Toppa Gurren Lagann and you want to watch it, you should be aware that there are spoilers ahead or something.
No,
or we can
not
talk
doing
about
that.
it off the air if you don't want to do
No, we don't have a friendship anymore. It's only a show.
Oh, okay.
No, what was it like? I'm going to keep it vague, but were you crying about like the ending as a whole, or about like the specific like major loss at the end, or?
I don't know how to describe it. Probably for the same reason that I cried at the end of the Mob Psycho 100 manga. I don't really,
because it was over.
No,
Okay. Sorry.
no. Just because of it's okay.
Gosh,
just because of like some of the realizations, that kind of stuff, just like hit me in ways. And I specifically wanted to watch that show during this time because I thought it was like the only thing that would make me feel better. Whereas like I'm having trouble watching a lot of other things because they feel really normal. I'm watching like some comedies because they happen to be coming out right now, but the only things that feel good are like really, difficult, and have to do with people overcoming adversity, or I'm just not really interested right now. So I just kind of needed that, and I wasn't sure I was going to get, what I needed to get out of it. It's hard to tell when you watch something, but I did. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've had trouble. I'm a movie guy, obviously. I like to watch movies. And when I get really stressed out or really depressed, I don't watch movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't. I can't get into it. I'll literally, I have spent days on days on days just saying over and over, like, I'm going to watch a movie tonight. Like, I'm going to make the time, and tonight at like 9:30, I'm going to put on a movie and I'm going to relax and watch, and then it never happens.
Yeah.
And I think that part of that is because I'm just like, there is such a baseline of stress going on, I think, for most people, not just me. And it's easy to kind of forget that it's there because it's a baseline. It's just, it is always there. So sometimes I will be doing something particularly stressful and realize that I am super exhausted when it's done.
Yeah.
And that's when I have that moment where I'm like, oh, I'm already keyed up.
Yeah.
I can't, I got to remember that. And a lot of it has been expressing itself in my dreams. I think, we've talked about dreams a little bit, but this is more particular to the pandemic. If I didn't have such weird, constant bad dreams, I would probably not be as well aware of how I'm doing.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, it's hard to explain, but my point is that, like, I try to go easier on myself because I'm like, whoa, you're really in rough shape. But if those dreams weren't happening, I don't think I would be as aware.
Okay.
But the fact that I keep having stress dreams and occasionally really bad nightmares, I'm like, oh, right. It's because I don't feel good.
Yeah.
Like, it's because, a lot of people, myself, I think you probably do the same. We kind of try to ignore ourselves to some extent. I don't know. Maybe you don't do that. Maybe it's just me. But
I don't know, honestly.
I will try to ignore, like, if I'm in great distress or whatever, I'll try to kind of pretend it's not happening. Well, not even pretend it's not happening. I'll avoid it. That's a better way to put it.
Okay.
Just like, I'm not going to face this. I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah, it's become a real battle over here,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, and then on top of that, it's like, it's chicken or the egg. It's like, or maybe it's that I'm not getting a good night's sleep that's making me feel so aggro.
Oh, I mean, and that'll totally happen too.
Oh yeah.
So that's hard.
Well, during the first week and a half or so of the pandemic, there was like a solid like 4, 5, 6 day stretch where I just didn't get a night's sleep. I was having like vicious, hard nightmares, not stress dreams, not like unpleasant dreams, but just full blown nightmares. And I've never had nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. And I don't just mean like every day. I mean, like, I remember waking up in bed and going, man, that was a horrible dream. And then like going back to sleep and then having another horrible dream where I wake up again and go, man, that was a horrible dream.
Wow.
And then I'd go back to sleep and I'd wake up and be like, man, that was a terrible dream. And look at the clock and see it was 7:30 and be like, I'm just getting up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I usually get up around 9 or 10. So that already tells you like I'm losing 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep. But that first, 5 or 6 days that I was like that, I was legitimately like waking up every day and going like, am I going to make it through this? Like by like the third or fourth day, I was like, I'm really worried. Like, I don't feel okay in the least.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Luckily that didn't last. Although now I would say I have stress dreams almost every night, but not every night. And I have really bad nightmares occasionally.
Okay.
Which is an improvement.
Yeah, yay.
I mean, not all stress dreams are horrible. Some stress dreams are just you're dreaming about a stressful situation. For me, I just dream about a stressful situation, and then I wake up and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then some stress dreams are really, really bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I don't know, but it's been like a weird battle that I've been trying to fight and win. I feel like I feel like before this all, I always felt like I was just constantly fighting battles anyway. But this one feels really weird because it's so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last night I had a really weird night last night. I wasn't going to talk about it, but because I've been struggling so much, I also didn't really prepare much to talk about on the show. So I may as well just talk about my really, really personal things.
Okay.
Cause why not? So the first week, 2 weeks of, social distancing, I didn't have really anything to do. I was out of work like entirely. Now at least I have sporadic employment, sporadic jobs come in and I can do them and make money. And I'm very thankful for that. But that 2 weeks, I just had nothing. And my home was spotless. I was just vacuuming and washing my dishes every day and scrubbing I have a ceramic stove, so it needs a very simple scrubbing to stay nice and clean. And I was doing like all the things I put off because I'm notorious, especially if I'm in the middle of like a big job, I let everything fall apart around me until the job is done. That has always been the way I am. But it felt good. That was at least a thing that felt good is I'd be like, well, at least my sink is empty. At least I don't have these things. Well, my sink had been full. I have, a sink with, the partition, the two sinks. The double sink, whatever the hell that thing is called.
Yeah, I think you were right. I think it's like a double sink or something, but also fancy.
It's very fancy. Well, one half is a garbage disposal and the other half is just a normal drain.
Really fancy.
Yeah, buddy. And so it ended up that both sides are just full of dirty dishes. And I already have a problem. I had to kind of figure this out a few years ago. I have a problem that if I see like a mess, I get kind of an anxiety attack. And that I figured out because I used to wonder, I was like, man, I must just be really like a real big slob because if I see a mess, I just don't acknowledge it or I don't do anything. And then I realized it's like, no, I acknowledge it and I run away from it because like I panic and I don't know how to solve it. I have organizational problems. I have all these things, So when I look at like a big pile of clutter or a big pile of dirty dishes, my mind just wraps around the pile and not around the components that can be changed. Like a pile of clothes. It's like, yeah, but it's really just, 5 pairs of pants and 10 t-shirts that just need to be folded.
Yeah.
But I have to really concentrate to see that. It's like really, really hard for me.
Yeah.
Same thing with a pile of dirty dishes. I see a pile of dirty dishes and I don't think, well, in reality, it's 30 pieces, including mostly forks, and it will take you 18 minutes.
Yeah.
But to me, I just see a pile of dirty dishes and my brain is like, well, you have to wash them all at the exact same time. And then I'm like, well, I don't have hands big enough. And I know that this sounds ridiculous, but this is legitimately what my anxiety is like. So it's easier to walk away. Also, I've been thinking about this a lot. It's easier to clean the dishes as I need them because in that moment, I am focusing on only a dish or only two dishes.
That makes sense.
So when it's time to make, spaghetti, I'm like, all right, I need the strainer and I need the big pot and I need a plate. So I just wash those things and then eat. That's easy. But when I look at the sink, it can be hard. So yesterday was a real emotional, I was just kind of everywhere. I'd had a really good day the day before and, some good news looked like it was coming in and, but my sink was full of dirty dishes. And this was like the 5th day in a row that I was like, I'm going to do the dishes. That's going to be the thing I do. I have 2 big things I need to do around the house. I need to do the dishes and I need to clean up this massive amount of leaves that I've let pile up for more than one season. We got rid of the tree in my front yard, so the leaf problem is really minor now, and it's all at the side and back of my house.
Sure.
So, which is good, except that it's all concentrated in smaller places. Like, there's nowhere for the leaves to blow except against my house now, as opposed to the front yard where they could kind of blow other places.
Yeah.
So, I've been saying forever, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then I wake up and I'm tired the moment I wake up. And then I do the little bit of work I have to try to make some money. And then I try to, not stress eat, which is impossible. That's all I know at this juncture is to stress eat. I don't know how to regular eat anymore. And then, sorry, I paused because I'm like, why am I talking about this? But I'm gonna, because I should probably.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
So the problem is that the more you let that go, the more I just feel bad about myself. Because it's like, dude, running the vacuum, it takes 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Not even. It takes 7 minutes. Let's be real. Running a vacuum cleaner in your living room and hallway, 7 minutes.
I feel like it takes more than that, but okay, sure.
Oh, you've been to my house. That's a pretty small amount of space.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't have carpet in my dining room or my kitchen, obviously. Obviously on the kitchen, dining room, varies, but I don't have that much carpet. So, run the vacuum, brush the dogs, but then I just look at this pile of dirty dishes and I'm like, how do I do it? And yesterday I was getting so disappointed in myself because I didn't do it. I got caught up in other things, mostly trying to distract myself.
Yeah.
And then I made a dinner for myself because I got a work thing done that I really needed to get done in a hurry. So I was like, I'm going to celebrate with some spaghetti, and I had already made some meat sauce the other day that was really, really good. So I was like, I'm going to eat the rest of that meat sauce because I don't want it to go bad. So I eat this impossibly big plate of spaghetti. And then I feel, just bloated and worthless. And then I'm like, well, you got to wash the dishes. And it's like, how? I'm not even good enough to do the dishes. This is how I feel at that moment.
Yeah.
So then I did the thing that I hate admitting I did because I don't do it often. It takes a lot, but I just depressed sleep. I just took a depression nap. I just laid down on the couch and went to sleep because I was like, I'd rather not be on right now. So I fell asleep on the couch at 6:30 and I woke up at almost 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And then of course I'm laying on the couch and I'm going I can't believe how worthless you are. You just slept your entire evening when you could have done the dishes and watched a movie and, done things that you need to do. Yeah. So I decided, to just lean into it. So I gathered up the dogs and I let them go outside to use the bathroom. And then I brushed my teeth and I was like, I'm going to bed. I guess that's all I can do. At least I don't completely screw up sleeping. So I lay in bed and I just can't fall asleep. which is then making me angrier and angrier that I can't fall asleep because I just don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And eventually at about midnight, or maybe a little bit after midnight, I was like, well, fuck it. So I got up and I went into the kitchen and I fucking washed those fucking dishes. And it was really cute too, because like the dogs were like dead asleep, but they both woke up, and even Chicano, who's the laziest dog in the world, who never wants to get out of his bed unless he has to, even he came out and laid on the couch while I was washing the dishes.
Aww.
And Henwolf laid on the tile floor right next to me the entire time I was washing the dishes.
Aw, she wanted to protect you.
She's a good dog.
Yeah.
And but I washed those dishes. It took a long time. There were a lot of dishes.
Yeah.
And like I had so many dishes that like my drying rack, there was not enough room on my drying rack for even a half of it. So I had to start like being like really suave with like the dish towel on my shoulder so that I could dry as I rinse.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I needed the big things I had to keep out, you know, make room for the other things. And but I fucking did those fucking dishes, and I cleaned my stove. I didn't run the sweeper because I was really tired. I mean, it was like by the time I was all done with everything, it was like 1:20 in the morning. I was like, okay, I am legitimately tired.
Yeah.
like, but I mean, the carpets aren't terrible. I mean, you know, dog hair is basically just carpet anyway, so that's fine.
Pretty
it's
much. Fine. Yeah.
But no, so I did those dishes, and then I felt something I hadn't felt in days and days, which is I felt a sense of self-accomplishment.
Good.
Which is really important, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people get, is that it's hard to feel like you just are worthless.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that, you know, I joke a lot, and I mean the jokes, you know, they're funny. But I joke a lot about like essentials versus non-essentials.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is very, very fair that people who are having to work through all this to acknowledge that they are going through a lot of stress and worry and emotions I'm not even going to be able to assume.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who are stuck at home are going crazy. A lot of them are going crazy.
Yeah.
You were going to say something. I heard you inhale.
Oh, but
unless it was a gasp because I'm being so candid.
No, it wasn't, but that's okay. I don't need to say.
No, say something, please.
No.
For the love of God, say something. Otherwise, I'll keep talking.
But your I guess like monologue type thing was really interesting. So it's okay. No, but like it's just hard. I mean, it's definitely hard for everybody and in different ways, you know? Yeah. Cause like I'm one of those people, like, I mean, I assume there are people like this. Like I would, like, if you come to my house right now, there are no dishes in my sink. There will never be dishes in my sink for more than like a half hour. Except if I like somehow forget, which has happened before. Like I put something in my sink and I've gotten really distracted. So it's been like an hour. But like, that's like one of those things that I am in control of and that I can do. Also, I don't clean my house super regularly. Sometimes there's a stink bug on the floor somewhere. And I'm like, I should like pick it up and throw it out because it's dead. But I don't know. So I'll wait like a week.
Maybe they'll take care of it.
Yeah, she won't eat them. She just kills them and leaves them there. So like, I'll do stuff like that. But like, I always make sure I'm like vacuuming just because like, I feel like that's my job too. Mm-hmm. But like it's been hard for me too because it's like I work all day and then I come home and I'm trying to do normal Michelle stuff and I can't get that done at all. And I'm still like vacuuming and like cleaning dishes because I'm just that kind of a person where when I have a thing that I have to do it. Otherwise, I could just, I mean, I basically just couldn't not do it if I mean, I don't even know what that would say about my emotional state. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just
no, I appreciate it. No, please.
No, I don't know. It's just, and everybody's really upset and I'm worried about my family and my friends, but like, I don't have anything else to give anyone at this point. Like I'm trying to make sure people at my job have equipment that they need because my job doesn't really want to provide it. And like deal with that stuff and then come home and just deal with whatever the hell is going on here in my house, apparently, with my cat, and bless you. And, it's been super difficult, and it's difficult for everyone. But yeah, it's been hard, and dealing with my job, maybe. So, using what song we would like to play at our funeral, or who would we like to play at our funeral as an icebreaker. So, yeah. So I don't know.
No, and I appreciate your insight on it. That's the thing, is we're all affected differently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went to the grocery store on Monday for the first time in 2 weeks, and I was struggling not to have an anxiety attack.
Yeah. Okay, because she probably won't mind. My mom said something like that too. So I think that's kind of common now.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I pretty much feel like that all the time at work now. So
yeah, no, I believe that. I do, and that's why I try very hard to remember that, like, you come home really tired, because of all that. I just and it's a grass is greener kind of thing. I just wish I had purpose.
That's okay. I just wish that everyone would leave me alone.
Okay, we'll stop the show now.
Okay, bye.
That's not gonna happen. You're indentured to me for some reason that no one can know. But it's just hard. I do wish, for the most part, a lot of people have been pretty good on social media and stuff like that to each other. But man, like I see a lot of like anger towards people that you don't understand what they're dealing with. Whether it's essentials mad at non-essentials or non-essentials mad at essentials, like, but really, like, it's hard because, and being called non-essential doesn't feel good, as silly as that sounds, but like that really has become the nomenclature.
It's okay because being called essential doesn't feel good, especially for people who aren't in healthcare. Because I don't feel like, actually, essential is, but on the front lines is real bad because I know what happens to people on the front lines of combat. So, like, I don't want to be called that, guys. You can stop now.
Okay, fine. But no, but I do want to take a second to say that you, Michelle, have done a very, very good job.
Yeah, I don't think so, but thank you.
No, but you have, because I have been around a lot. I'm sure more than you would appreciate. Some days I call you so much that I literally just say sorry instead of hello. But you have been, through all of this, extremely aware and concerned with the well-being of your coworkers, extremely concerned with the well-being of your family, and extremely concerned with the well-being of your friends.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you have. And it's really, really important that I say so, because you have. All you have done this entire pandemic is show the type of person you are, how thoughtful you are, how intelligently you make decisions. And I'm incredibly proud of you.
Thanks, I guess. I'm sure I'm gonna fuck up, though.
Part of doing so much to help is fucking up. So if you fuck up, it's just something to write off, because you have taken chances for your employees to protect them. You've taken chances in order to protect your customers. You have constantly thrown empathy in the face of fear. And I'm proud of you. And I wish that I felt like I was doing those things.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's because I'm doing my part by staying home is the thing, but that doesn't feel like anything.
But I mean, doesn't it though? Because like you don't want to stay home. You're not doing this because it's fun, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of self-loathing with like laying around in your fucking pajamas and shit.
Well, get
it
dressed.
Doesn't feel good. Oh, now you own me? I'm not getting dressed. If anything, I'm being more naked now. You have just
that whole week that I was off, I got dressed every day.
Oh my God, Michelle is so fucking perfect.
No, I just afraid to be in my pajamas all day, so I won't.
You're afraid to be?
Yeah, it's just one of those probably, I mean, not really afraid, but like it's in there. There's something wrong in there that like, would make me not ever be in my pajamas for a full day, even if I'm like sick. So
yeah, my mom actually is not the same, but is similar. My mother will not wear like her sleep pajamas all day. She will get up and then put on sweats, like which are just the same thing.
Yeah,
but they're different.
Yeah,
you know, me. I only started wearing pajamas like 3 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
So the idea that I have loungewear is already like shocking. So the idea that I could have like loungewear and then loungewear that's, like loungewear plus, I don't know, like to have like, slightly nicer, comfortable pants that you wear, like that would be too much for my tiny brain.
I understand that. I definitely don't have like loungewear. I just find the clothes that I wear normally comfortable. So.
I do too, for the most part. Well, I mean, I used to sleep in just my clothes.
Right.
So, I mean, I generally feel that way. My buddy Mike always put it my favorite way ever, because whenever I would stay at his place in Jersey, when it was time to like, hunker in for the night and maybe watch a movie or something, he would always be like, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get into soft pants. And that stuck with me to this day. I often will say like, all right, I think it's time to get into soft pants.
Yeah.
So, but for people who are still listening, which I can't imagine they would be, I do want to say that, I did do those dishes and I got up this morning and I had my Honey Smacks. I literally bought Honey Smack cereal because I could.
That's
It wasn't like I bought them because, oh man, I just really love Honey Smack cereal. No, I bought it because I was like, I am 33 and if I want Honey Smack cereal, I'm going to get it. Like it was like an act of defiance against no one.
Yeah.
But I ate my Honey Smack cereal this morning and I cleaned my bowl and my spoon. So there's still no dishes in the sink, and I went out today and I spent an hour cleaning out my patio. It had tons of leaves and debris, and I feel good about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying.
Yeah. And I get like, cause I'm doing like housework and stuff still and everything. But like creatively, like I'm not doing as much as I normally do. Like you can only do what you can do. So if you're trying to do the outside stuff and then you go like, man, I can't do the outside stuff today, it's too much. That's okay too.
And I'm creative stuff is also difficult. But I do prioritize it. Like yesterday, I was like, I didn't get anything done. I woke up, I finished a job that was on my desk, which took about 2 hours. And then by about 1 or 2 o'clock, I was recording Weekly Spooky. And I had to get that done because I need to get it done so that it's scheduled to publish at midnight, on Wednesdays. So like I did accomplish stuff. It just doesn't feel like it,
Yeah. But I don't ever feel like I accomplish anything, so.
The only time I feel like I accomplish something is when it is damn near a mountain climbing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I will say, if I'm going to say something positive about myself, when the switch is turned, I have like psychotic determination. I can't just make myself have it though.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, people don't realize, like, when you watch a movie I made, that at some point I had to decide that just every minute I was awake for like 3 or 4 days was just spent messing with the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially hating every minute of it too. Like, sound is not fun. No. There are moments when it's kind of fun. Like when you're like, wow, that sound effect really made that scene work. But most of the time it's not, wow, that sound of the neighborhood in the background really makes this scene work.
Yeah.
But you have to put it there, or, wow, you really can't hear the camera cut between the two people. Yay. I mean, it's important, it's integral, but it's Futurama. If you do things right, then people will wonder if you did anything at all.
Yeah.
So, but so there have been, I have, so many examples of having to be determined to do something, even when it was hard and unpleasant and absolutely positively not fun.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm on the other side of those, I always feel really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what my point is. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I felt like I should.
I think it's a good thing to talk about.
I guess so, but you didn't share any of your fears and foibles.
I didn't? Are you sure?
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowисawkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.